Hi everyone. So today I just filmed with this palette, which I'd say I really liked from the get-go, and it made me think, what other stuff did I enjoy right from the get-go or hate right from the get-go? And that's the video I'm gonna do today. So we'll start with the good stuff, work our way to the bad stuff. So I'd say, okay, it's like where to start. We'll start with the eyeshadow palettes. Um, Eyeshadow palettes I've really enjoyed as soon as I got them. Pretty much as soon as I swatched them I knew. And one of them is Colourpop. Like pretty much all Colourpop palettes. There's not really many palettes that can disappoint me unless the colours are too muted or not as they seem in the pan, or it's unblendable. Like that's the only thing that can make me dislike an eyeshadow palette, I'd say. But that being said, these palettes are so convenient, so cute, like Baby Yoda, my god. And like the colours are just so good, and they've got like some of like the more like putty formulas in here too. So I'd say like this one definitely, like my sister-in-law got me this, and it was so cute of her. Like I basically bought like a bunch of the Colourpop palettes, like the little ones like this, you know, like plastic ones, and I think this had sold out and I couldn't get it, and she ended up just getting it for me, and it was so cute. Like honestly, I love this palette. Again, like these are different tones of green, but like really good green eyeshadows like this. Um, yeah, so I'd say that was definitely. And then another one, this is like my favorite palette for like natural cool tone makeup. Like I don't really love super warm eyeshadows. I don't know why. Like I can wear them and sometimes look nice on me, but I love cool tones. Like I just do. I don't know why. I think it's because maybe like um warm tones became such a trend that it kind of felt like the market was just oversaturated with warm eyeshadows, and it felt like you couldn't really find many cool tones. So when they came out with this palette, I kind of was like, I was eyeing up the Natasha Denona, was it Glam palette? I can't remember, but it's a lot of money, like, and so I decided to get this, and it's such a good palette, honestly, like really good palette, and it's definitely something I liked straight away. I'll talk about the stuff that is pretty new. And move all the stuff off it. So I also tried with the Revolution DC Mad Love / Dangerous Love collection, and this palette I definitely liked as soon as I like started putting it on, because I don't know, they're a nice amount of pigment, they're not too in your face, and the fact that these are all in a palette and it's DC, like I just couldn't resist. Like it's such a nice formula too. Like it's nice seeing Revolution doing something a little bit different. Like they tend to release the same stuff over and over again. That's what they do. But this one I really liked. And then the palette to go with that, well, not to go with it, but as part of the Mad Love collection, it's kind of a bit stiff to open, so yeah. And this is like the colourful eyeshadow palette, and again, this is something as soon as I tried, I liked. Like it's not, I wouldn't say these are like the most comparable to more expensive eyeshadows, but I love like Revolution. For the price, you really can't complain. They have a nice packaging, like again matches that. It's in like a tin, so it feels a bit more protected, and the shades, like you can get them there. Like some of them might be a bit more sheer, but I just feel like Revolution's such a good starter brand, if that makes sense. Like, you know, when I was starting out in makeup, I kind of wish Revolution existed then. Probably would result in slightly better makeup. and you can kind of like, I don't know, you can just make it good. I don't know how to explain it. It's not, it might take a little bit more work. It depends, like it varies from palette to palette, but so far from what I've tried with this, they blend well together, and they've got this like glitter in the corner that I really want to try. But yeah, this is another palette that I really like enjoyed straight away. And okay, now we're talking about the big purchases. So I didn't actually purchase this one. This is like my mum got me this for my birthday, but this is the Natasha Denona Retro palette, and I mean, I just love this. Like, I just love her formula. As soon as so I started by buying, I'll mention this one too, the bronze palette, and I know I said I don't really like warm tones, but this was on sale for like, I think it was like, I ended up getting this for about £40 when they should be 60. So I'd say these warm tones I can get on board with because they feel different. They don't feel like the same ready browns, like they're different, like, and the formula of them is just so nice. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a lot of eyeshadow formulas feel like super thick, but this feels like thinner, but you still have the same amount of pigment and shimmer as the heavier shadows, if that makes sense. And I like the way she puts in these little like cream to powder ones. Like, I feel like that's like, it just feels luxurious to use, if that makes sense. And again, like as soon as I used this, I kind of fell in love with the brand. Like, for years I was like, Natasha Denona's overpriced. I don't need that. Like, it's just eyeshadow. There's no point. But then over the years, I've tried so much makeup, and eventually, I guess this crept up on me, and like it just, I just started wanting to buy the palettes. Like, I don't know, wanting to see what all the hype was about, I guess. And it's definitely worth the hype, honestly. Like, and especially if you can find like a color story that you really like. Like, I love both of these, but like I love my like pinky purples, like, and these shimmers. Like, you can kind of see the, I don't know, it's like sometimes like with other shadows it's kind of like more metallic, but you can see the sparkles, and I don't know, it's just like, I just love them. I just love them. That's about it really for the eyeshadows, I think. Um, I want to talk about the like base products next, and a few products that this one I'm so sad about, because this probably is my favorite foundation, and the foundation that probably looks like the best on my skin. That's the CYO Lifeproof, and this is discontinued. I have the shade 101, which is also a pretty good match for when I'm like, pale. Most of the time pale, but yeah, this lasts really well. It looks really pretty on the skin, and I love the match. Like, I feel like it's like the one foundation I can rely on. So for that reason, as soon as I tried it, I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. And yeah, like it's a shame. I've heard that the Soap and Glory do one similar, but I feel like the colours are slightly different. Yeah, like the colours are slightly different, so I don't feel like I get as good of a match as I did with the CYO. Alright, and this one, again, this is something that I've been eyeing for years, and I'm glad I bought it because as soon as I tried it, I was like, this is like the best concealer I've ever tried. This is the Born This Way Multi-Sculpting Concealer, super coverage it says. I have the shade Almond, but I also have Swan because I can't really find best on dry match for me. So yeah, like this works for the most part. Yeah, like this shade like works for the most part, but sometimes I do need to lighten it up if I want to brighter and dry. But this, if you haven't tried this, try it. It's honestly some of the best, like the best the best concealer I've ever found, and I do feel like, there's my dog again. I told you he doesn't like closed doors. Hello. Hello. Where'd you go? Hello. Oh, slobber chops. Oh, slobber chops. Loved you too. Good boy. Okay, sorry about that. My dog. He's so funny. His name's Leo, by the way. Don't know if I've mentioned that. Yeah. This is the best concealer I've ever found, like, honestly. Okay. Another product that I definitely liked from the get-go was this Goddess Glow Cream Highlighter by Makeup, I think it's Revolution Pro. It's in the shade Ablaze. I still feel like the shade's not the greatest for me, but this formula is so nice. Like, I think it's meant to be a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter. Now, they came out with this one and I thought, great, like I can find a good colour and it should sort of be like this. It's not. This, like, is not a good formula. It kind of just sticks and looks patchy and I can't get it to work for me. However, this one is so blendable. It's such, I don't know, it gives such a nice natural sheen to the cheeks, and I feel like, even though I haven't tried the Charlotte Tilbury one, it's probably quite comparable. So yeah, like this, again, like it was something that I really liked. It was the first liquid highlighter I think I've tried that hasn't like broke my makeup up and stuff, and so I really liked it from the get-go. Okay. I also, along in the same vein, I'd say that the Mitchell, like the blushes, these, like, I like them as soon as waste. Sometimes they can be a bit tricky, like you have to find the right colour and they are quite pigmented, so you can kind of overdo it a bit on the blush sometimes. But this is such a nice formula. So many different colours, like it's very blendable. Don't really feel like it's super glowy, but I don't mind that. Like I really do like them, and I really enjoyed using them. Like I even liked it so much that I got the bronzer one. But yeah, like these colours are really nice, and this actually came in a set with the Mitchell. Like, I think there's a brush. I can't even find it. Oh, here we go. This brush, like these brushes are really, really nice. Like, I know it sounds weird, even my boyfriend, when he picked this up, he's like, you can tell the difference between, like, you know, like cheap and expensive brushes, and you definitely can. Like, these are really well made and perform really well, like these do. So I just want to put that out there. Next, I had a video recently that I tried to film, it corrupted, I couldn't save the footage, it was just a bit of a mess, but I tried this in it, and this is just a Glam lace powder from Revolution Pro, and I think I used this like under my eyes for the setting, and it really brightens like the under eye, and to the point where as soon as I put it down, like in the video, I was like, oh, it's bright, like it makes a difference, it makes an impact, and it's really smoothing. They have a few different colours, and I just feel like I struggle with under eye powders. Like, sometimes they don't look great on me. I normally use loose powders like the Laura Mercier or the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop powder, but for a pressed one, like a pressed powder, I feel like this is really decent, and it's only like £4. Like, you can't really go wrong at that price either. I'll talk about lip products, and yeah, I'll talk about lip products. Two I got from Odenseye, and they're like creamy lip stains, and I got the shade Little Jasmine and Waterlily, and these are kind of like glossy, so it's kind of like a pigmented gloss, but it feels really nice on the lips, and I feel like it does last a decent amount of time. I mean, I feel like the shades I got are very similar. But yeah, like they're very glossy and they're not like super sticky either, so they're really, I just put them on and I just felt like they felt like a really nice moisturizing product with a nice sheen of color. Like that's the only way I can describe it. They're really pretty, like really worth giving a try. Like I love a lot of Odenseye stuff, but these, like, I feel like I reach for them a lot, so that kind of says a lot. And then I also have this gloss from Maybelline. This is Amber, the lifter gloss. These are so nice. Like, I think these are meant to also be a dupe for the Fenty lip glosses, and the shine on them, like, it's just, and like the feeling on the lips, like I feel like for the most part with me it's all about like the feeling on the lips. Like I kind of, if I have like super matte lips, like I get like this sounds kind of gross, but like stringiness, and I find even like moisturizing lip products can do that. Like I kind of have to, I hate that feeling where it goops, like if that makes sense, and I feel like these products don't do that, and that's why I like them so much, and that's why I liked them from the get-go. So yeah. And last, I think, for the loves is this mascara. This one kind of viral, I think. Maybelline Sky High, and it's got like a brush, like probably need to get a new one soon, like a plasticky brush. However, this, like, it just does so much for my lashes. Like I probably say this is the best mascara I've ever found, and that's like I feel like I have good luck with most Maybelline and L'Oreal mascaras. When I compare this to the telescopic, like I kind of want the telescopic mascara to kind of be what this is, in the sense that this doesn't really clump. Like you can, if you keep going forever, I'm sure you can get it to look like slightly clumpy, but this, like, maybe it needs to dry out or something, but it's kind of a bit wet, so it kind of does clump. Whereas like I want it to just do that lengthen and separate. I don't want super loads of volume. Like I don't really like the spidery looking lashes, but this can go a bit overboard. Whereas this, I just was like wow from the get-go. And normally with mascaras you have to wait a couple of weeks before they dry out and they get a bit better, but with this one didn't really find, I found that from the get-go it performed just as well as it does now. So right back in there. Now stuff I hated from the get-go, okay? Dropping stuff. Anyway, the first thing I'm going to mention, this. As you know, like I seem to have a lot of Revolution stuff, and when they came out with this XX line, I wanted to try it, and I was like, it's more expensive and stuff, and maybe it's like better quality. I got the Glow Fixx, and I was assuming that meant it was just going to be like a dewy setting spray. However, I was not impressed. Like, glitter just comes out of this as soon as you open it, you spray it, and it's just got pink glitter in it. And it's just, the only thing I can use this for is like wetting eyeshadows now, because I can't use this on my face. I don't want glitter all over my face, you know? And the smell of it it smells kind of weird too. And I feel like they should have made it more clear, because it says in the back, glow all day fixing mist for lit from within skin, illuminates and brightens skin while holding it in place. There's no mention of illuminating particles or glitters in here. It's just it's just so stupid, to be honest. One that, like, a very regretted purchase, I'd say. Alongside that, with the Revolution, you can see, like, I love Revolution, but they definitely have some fails. Now this is, I can't even remember what the name of this was. I don't know the name of this, but this was, I think, supposed to be, like, it seemed like it was trying to be a dupe of the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Filter stuff. And I don't know, I liked this description of this. It's really nice packaging, feels really heavy. And I was thinking I can use this as like a skin tint on days where I don't really want to do makeup. I'll just put this on and it'll look kind of sheeny. However, when I got it, it just didn't do much at all. Like, there's no coverage to this, which is fine. But it's also, it's just a funny texture. Like, it doesn't seem to blend in that well. And yeah, I don't, like, it has the tiniest bit of coverage, but as you can see, like, you can't really see anything. And I remember putting it on and it had kind of, like, I wanted this to be like the type of sheen that you don't pick up on with glitters, but this definitely has like glitters in it and it just doesn't do much. Like, I just don't know where this would fit into someone's routine, to be honest. To each their own, but I did not like this from the get-go, and I was super disappointed because XX Revolution is a bit more expensive, and I was hoping this was going to be nice, but maybe I should have just got the Charlotte Tilbury one. Yeah, another base product I really didn't like, and I know everybody loves these. It's the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and I know they came out with a hydrating one, which I do like a lot better. Now, my skin's not really, it's oily. Like, I have quite oily skin, so I was assuming that these would probably be like better for me. First of all, I found the shade range quite confusing and I had to get two shades. Don't know why I ended up getting two shades, but I got light beige and light peach, and neither of them are that good. Even when I do put them on though, they do, they they're very kind of drying and it ends up looking kind of like, you know, like when you put a clay face mask on and it cracks. It was kind of like that, but like it all bunched up into little, I don't know, like it all gone super bunchy and cakey underneath my eyes. And I tried it a few times and I just couldn't get it to work for me. It always looked quite terrible. Like, when you put it on first, it doesn't look too bad, but as soon as it dries down, it just like emphasizes any texture underneath your eye and makes it look worse than it even is. So I hated this and I probably will get rid of all of these products I'm talking about, most of them anyway. I also have this, and everybody liked this too. This is I think it's like the Quick Base. I have F1, like the Quick Base foundation stick. And yeah, like, I got this hoping it was gonna be, I don't know. I always want my foundation to just make my skin look like skin, but this was quite heavy and quite greasy looking for me. Probably not the best because I have oily skin again, like I said. However, this, I did try it a couple of times and I wanted to like it so bad, but every time it just kind of emphasized again any texture, despite it being this like greasy formula. Like, it kind of, I don't know, it was just a very strange formula and it just didn't work out for me. I don't know why I kept hold of it, but I guess maybe for this video. I do have quite a few Revolution stuff, don't I? This as well, like, I got this primer. This was like a completely random purchase. And as soon as I got it home, it started spewing out like oil instead of, like, it's like the oil had separated from it and it had just gone all funny, and I don't find it's that blurring. Like, it kind of blurs, but not as good as some of my other ones. And then I just don't like the fact that every time like I try to use this, it just squirts like oil out, or like the product comes out like unmixed. It's like separated completely. So yeah, like, it's a shame because it could probably would be pretty good if it wasn't the separatedness of it. It does blur, but just not, it's just not my favorite really. Okay, now this one is slightly different because it's not necessarily that it's bad, it's that I wasn't expecting this color. Like, this is the Laura Mercier Candle Glow Sheer Perfecting Powder. Now, I got this because I've been after the Laura Mercier do like a matte radiance powder, and it's like meant to be like a really smooth highlighter, and I think I got this thinking that's what it was, and it looks like it'd be fine, and it's, you know, it's really nice other than the fact that it kind of is too dark for me to wear as a highlight. So, and this is the lightest shade, so yeah, it's just, and it's just, again, a shame because it's a really nice texture. I might, I don't know, try mixing it with the Glam Mood to put under my eyes or something, because I don't really want to get rid of this. I did spend quite a bit on it, and it's just a shame that there's no lighter colours. And because it was sheer, I was expecting it to not really have much colour to it and be more of a sheen than a pigmented powder. So yeah, I didn't really like this from the get-go, but it's not because it's a bad product, it's just because it's a bad colour. Another thing from Revolution, there's actually two more things to be fair. Okay, so I got this Freckle, what even is this called? I think it's just a Freckle tint, and I tried it on with the footage that I kind of lost, and it did not look good. Like, when I tried to tap it in, it didn't, like, you know, the way it's meant to spread out, it didn't really do that very well. It just kind of looked like I had mud splattered on my face. Like, it just did not look good. I will try it again to see if I can get it to work for me somehow, but it wasn't. It wasn't good. Like, I've got the Colourpop Freckle pen and that's so much better. Like, it's so much lighter. This feels like it's almost like too dark. So yeah, it just made me look like someone had gone past in a car and splashed me with muddy water. So that's not really the look I was hoping for. And then this, I don't like this, you know. I've tried so hard, it's just too thick. It's like the XX Revolution lip glosses, and I assumed they'd be, and the colour of this as well, like, I think I was expecting it to kind of be like a mauve, but it comes out to more of like a like a, I don't know, like a darker brown colour, and it's a little bit too cool toned to the point where it makes me look like dead. And the fact that it's so thick, it does do that stringy thing I was talking about earlier, where I get like little stringy bits from the lip product, like interacting with the upper lip product. I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah, they kind of go all mushy and gloopy, and I just don't like it. It's just way too thick. Like, I can even feel this on my hand, if that makes sense. Like, more so than I would another gloss. Like, when I put the Maybelline one on, it kind of felt nice, but this feels heavy. So yeah, a lot of stuff is from the XX Revolution, so you know what I mean? Like, that's meant to be like the better like makeup brand that you pay more for, but it's just kind of not great. Okay, and then we have this, and to be fair with this, like, I can get this to work, but this is something I didn't really like from the get-go because it was just too pigmented and it was really difficult. Like, you have to go in with such a light hand, and this product, like, there's a lot in here, I'll give it that. There is a lot in here, but you're never going to use this on your brows because it, like, completely used this up because it's too pigmented for brows, like if you do like tiny feather strokes you can make this work, but if you're going in with an angled brush and loading this up, you're gonna get block brows. Like this just has the tendency to go overboard too much. However, when it's used properly, it does take some time, but it's a nice product and I can get it to work, so I will be keeping this. But it's not like I don't know. I was expecting this to kind of be like, you know, the way you can get the brow pens. I know it's not a brow pen, but maybe like a paste that you could just draw them on yourself. And in some ways it is, but in some ways it's just too dark, too pigmented, and yeah, like maybe it would be better for more like pro, like makeup artists or something. Like maybe it's better that way, but yeah. I also have, I think this is the last thing now. This is the Be Perfect Get Wet highlighter, and I have the shade Soft Silk. Now, like this, probably way too dark for me, let's be honest. And it's a shame because this is such a nice texture. However, it's just, this seems more like an eyeshadow than it does like a highlighter, and you can see like the shift. I mean, you can see like when I move my hand, it is definitely too dark for me, so that could be part of the problem. However, I feel like it's just too glittery, and sometimes it's nice to have like a glittery highlight. I get that, like when the sun hits and stuff, but I feel like this is a bit much, and I feel like some people say that this makes them look wet when it just doesn't for me. Kind of just looks like I've smeared eyeshadow on my cheeks. So what I've been doing with this is kind of using it as like an inner corner highlight or like a little bit of shimmer over the top of my eyeshadow. It's the only way I can really use this now, but I feel like if you do like glittery highlights, it's kind of like the fancy one, this is a good option and it's a really nice texture. However, I don't think glittery highlighters are for me. I've always wanted the most natural. And when I say natural, I don't know. I want like a sort of a smooth sheen that doesn't look textured and doesn't just look like I've put highlighter on, if that makes sense. It's kind of hard to find. Yeah, so that's everything. Let me know what products you loved from the get-go and you hated from the get-go. I'd love to know. Like, always love trying new products. Let me know if any of these products are your favorites or hates too. Yeah, that's all really. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.